Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon to some of you guys in the US. It's good morning here. It's Monday morning here in Australia. And I'm so excited to talk to you guys today. I am just going to wait for some people to pop online and let them know, or let me know, sorry, that they are here. So I hope you guys have had a great weekend. I'm just taking a breath, trying to get my little one off to daycare. We're running a bit late today. She was up during the night, so that's all cool. But let us just wait for a little bit longer. Hey, I think I can see Holly hopping on. You're driving, so be careful. I hope you're doing really well. I've loved seeing you, Holly, become a lot more visible over the last month or so, which is wonderful. Hey, Sally, gorgeous girl. So I'm not too sure what's going to completely come out of my mouth today. I've been up through the night with my little one, which is a very rare, hi Sally, which is a very rare occurrence for me these days, thankfully. I've hit the 3-year-old mark, and so my life has become a lot more juicy and easier because I actually have to sleep, but last night we were up, but that's okay. So today I want to talk about how to really have clients chase you instead of you chasing them, instead of hustling for the next client overtly, kind of worrying about where the next client is coming from. And there are a number of different steps, hey Raquel, that are so important to look at and to really take note of and integrate, hey Renee, and integrate into our lives. Before I start talking, I'm just going to wait for, a few more people before I really go deeply into the content. I'm going to wait, hey Renee, for a few of you more to pop on. I just want to know, how has your weekend been? I know that a lot of you are doing some really interesting things. I know Raquel, you've been relaxing and having a juicy good time, which is awesome. What did I do this weekend? I did a bit of work actually, I have to say. Lizzie, I took my daughter to, hey Amber, I took my daughter to breakfast, the park. What else did we do? We had lots of ice cream. We went out to dinner on Friday night. My life, I think I keep saying, like, it just keeps changing at such a beautiful, rapid rate. But, you know, even though I teach so much about owning our value and making more money, the richness that I feel in my life, you know, goes beyond money. And in some way, making more money, to some degree, I was speaking to a friend, can be a little bit sort of boring. It's really, the money comes, the money is the outcome of the work that you're doing in the world. It's not, obviously, it goes way beyond that. So when you're sort of more in scarcity, it's like, oh, how am I going to make more money? But really, the biggest shift I feel that I have made is really asking myself that question. How can I best serve? How can I make my offers and what I do in the world really help my clients? What is the solution that I'm offering, and how can I package that up in a way that is incredibly juicy? So I know Amber, you were coming up with some new offers, and I met Amber and I thought she does incredible design work, and immediately I was starting to download different ideas for her, things that I know that I would want in my business, that she could package up and charge a premium price for. So the question that you really want to be asking yourself is, how can I create a juicier, more impactful experience for myself and my clients? So sit with that for a minute. You should have something come up. If you just sit with that for a second, what is the experience that you can really provide for them that's just really lush, juicy, that would solve their problem? And what problem is it? I cannot express to you how important it is to get crystal clear, laser lucid clear about the problem that you are really solving, so you can clearly articulate that. So number one, it becomes an energetic frequency where you're embodying this energy. There's this complete clarity on what you're doing. You feel excited about it, and so then you begin to become magnetic, but then you can take that out into the world and clearly articulate what it is that you actually do. So when I get you know, when I'm starting to work with new clients, or even if I'm having a discoveries call with someone and I go to their website, I can often see immediately that there's a lack of clarity even on the website, and then, as you guys know, the number one element that keeps a lot of coaches, healers, consultants, even just entrepreneurs in Struggleville is the lack of visibility, and really get out there. People do not know that you exist, and if they do know that you exist, they are actually not really clear about the outcome that you're providing. So remember, it's not the program that you're selling, it's the result. So you've got to sell the sizzle, sell the result, sell the solution to the problem, and it should be clearly articulated. So if you want clients to really chase you, number one, you have to just get crystal clear about what it is you do. So I know that someone on this, like Raquel, for example, she does this amazing life design process. It's part of her toolbox, right? She's got many tools, but that's not really what she's selling. She's selling the solution that that particular offering provides, and that's what needs to come across in your marketing. Next, visibility. I keep talking about it. Once you get incredibly clear about what it is that you're providing, you've got to get out there and sing it from the rooftops. You've got to, and it doesn't have to be done in an overt way, but you cannot expect people to hit the buy button when you're not out there expressing what you do, the solution, and they don't know that you exist. So you've got to make it really easy for people. People today, especially if you're targeting entrepreneurs in the entrepreneurial game, but just anyone really, everyone's busy, whether you're a stay-at-home mother or an entrepreneur. We have to make it really easy for people to make a decision and to also ascertain the value of what you provide. They have to be able to get it. Okay, so this is what if I'm spending this amount of money, oh, okay, I'm getting X, Y, and Z. These are the benefits. These are the outcomes that I'm going to receive. So talk outcomes. So I was also thinking, during my free training last week, we had the worksheet that some people have asked for who weren't able to be on the call live. So I'm going to put that up actually on High End Empire today, so that you can go through and answer some of the questions if you weren't able to get that, because there are some really, hey Leanne, there's some really good questions in there that will help you to really solidify your offer, and then you'll start to sort of resonate with it and sort of embody that a lot more deeply. I know, for example, a new client of mine, Sally, is an amazing, deep, like, sort of this amazing channel. She channels love, but is deeply healing. So one of the things for Sally to do is to really get out there and own more deeply the brilliance of her work. And therefore, when you do, you can start to really clearly articulate it, but also raise your fees and double your fees. In the last 7 days, I have had women who've either started working with me, or they've had a sales call with me, and they haven't even, some of them are booked into work with me. Actually, all of them are booked into work with me at different levels, whether at different programs, prices, some in CEO Diva Business School, some in High End Empire, and some in Rich Diva. And every single one of them, like some of them have just had sales calls and we've been PMSing with each other. They're booked into work with me, and we haven't actually started really the deep coaching yet. So is it did I say PSing? I hope I didn't say that. PMing me. And every single one of those women have sold a high-end package, which is, I think, pretty incredible. And I was thinking, well, why is that? What have they actually done? They've gotten incredibly clear. They've become a little bit more visible, either doing a live stream, emailing. That's great. Thank you, Holly. Hey, Holly. They've created a new offering, or they've started to communicate about that offering in a different way with a lot more power, clarity, and love and vulnerability. Very important. So you said PMSing. Sorry. I'm not PMSing, so it was PMing me. So, and also the other part of it is they're getting a lot of support. And with a lot of the women that I've been speaking to, oh my God, this is interesting. And this is no shame or blame, because I've definitely been there, and I'm always working on my mindset and getting my frequency aligned to that which I want to receive. But sometimes I'm blown away by what comes out of people's mouths in terms of where they're thinking. Hi, Sharla, where their thinking's really at. So really heavy, negative belief systems that obviously have been keeping those clients or those people trapped in under-earning, overworking, struggle, a lot of shame, if you really experienced a lack of cash flow and you're feeling like you're a failure or you really don't have it in you, if you're not allowing yourself to shift that story and to be kind to yourself and forgive yourself, hi Sharla, your energy is going to be completely off and you will not be able to receive the income that you want, the divine clients that you want. So if right now you're feeling any element of shame or embarrassment, maybe you have debt, maybe you've been for some reason struggling in your business and not really getting those ideal clients into your business, just let the story go and hit the refresh button. Oh, that's great, Sally. Yeah, give yourself. I was like that. I had a clothing line. I had that clothing line in New York, Body Love, and I had a lot of success with it. But I also had a lawyer blackmail me and steal my corporate kit off me and basically write out 50% or more than that, about 60% of stock out to himself. And for a long time, that was a huge thing, and it made me feel like a bit of a loser that I'd actually trusted him, even though my instinct was that he wasn't really trustworthy, but I needed someone on my team and I was issuing him some stock as payment. Anyway, it's a long story, but when I kind of let go of that company, I carried around a lot of residual pain and shame and embarrassment, and it kept me trapped in that cycle for a long time, and it's so unnecessary. So yeah, hey, it's okay. You know what? That and I think this is such an important example to share. Why am I sharing that? Because what have you learnt also from the struggle? What have you learnt from making mistakes? Because our failures can be such beautiful, amazing allies, really. Like, I now know, I have learnt from that lesson that number one, partnership on any level in business is like a marriage times 10. So you better be so careful. Even if you're just partnering up with someone to do a program together, you better be so in alignment with that person. You better have exit clauses and all sorts of things, really organized contractual agreements set up right from the get-go, honestly. Even if it's just like a Word document PDF that you both sign, very clear, is so important. And then the intuition, my power of my intuition was so incredibly strong, but I was a bit fear-based, and I had a pro bono lawyer, and then this lawyer, like, I raised a lot of capital. It was a big business. I had a lot of investors, and I even had the opportunity to let him go at one point, because he sort of did something and I was embarrassed, and I could have let him go, and I didn't. I forgave him and kept going with it, and then it backfired on me. So I've learned really to trust myself like you wouldn't believe when it comes to contractual agreements, alliances with people. I am like a straight shooter. I call it as it is. I'm completely transparent. If my gut instinct is saying something is off, I trust it explicitly. So being burned like that has made me one fierce friggin' diva when it comes to business alliances or even taking on certain clients. Like, I won't take on clients, especially on a one-on-one level, private level, unless I really just love them and really love them. So, I with CEO Diva Business School, for example, which is my higher tier offer where everyone gets private with me, as I was up-leveling all of that, I said to my husband, and I was thinking about it, I've got to be so mindful about the people I work on that level, because it's really like the experience that I want with them, because I'm such a loving, even though I'm fierce, I'm also incredibly loving and generous, and I give so much. It's like having them come into my living room. So if I don't want them in my living room or sleeping in my house and spending time with me like that, they are not to work with me at that level. And so you've got to be incredibly mindful about what type of people that you want to work with, and really own that deeply, own it deeply. But going back to releasing any shame that you might be feeling around your journey thus far. It may have nothing to even do with business. It might be about relationships with your family. It may be something to do with abuse. It may be something that you've done to somebody to really hurt someone, and it's energetically blocking your ability to receive. I know for me, around the money drama karma stuff, when I was doing more healing on myself, I identified a belief that money was around people with money are very manipulative, and they use it to kind of manipulate you and try to kind of have one over on you. And that was something that came from my parents fighting over money and fighting over a company that they had together when they went through a divorce. And I never knew that I had that underlying belief. So once I identified that belief, I was able to clear it and go, oh my God. And this is the same with a lot of the clients that I've been speaking to who've been signing up with me recently. And I was thinking about this on such a deep level. When you have beliefs like that you're not really aware of, they are absolutely blocking your success, because you're subconsciously going to block yourself from receiving. So why would I allow real money in, or I get a lot of money in, and then somehow I would sabotage myself if I felt that I would be manipulated by money, and that people can be abusive almost with money and try to get one over on me. So you have to be incredibly mindful of that. So in the work document that I had from Break Free from Money, Karma, Drama to Sell High End, there is a question number 5. What are the 3 core beliefs you need to release in order to rock your business and sell high end like a rock star diva? So just sit with that for a second. What are some of the beliefs that just come up in this moment? You can close your eyes and just tune into it. It might be a word that comes up, a person may come up into your mind, a feeling, an emotion. And just sit with it for a minute. And then when you have time, even if you've got a piece of paper or you're at your computer right now, you can even write that down if it's just a feeling, a word, and just ask for divine healing right in this moment. If you need additional support, definitely get it. So really, I wanted to summarize briefly what some of my clients, and one of my clients hit 20K this month. She was already at 6 figures and she was already doing very well in her business. So I wanted to sort of outline some of the things that we've been able to put into place for her to have that extra shift and to raise her income quite considerably over the last few months. And one of them was we began to really reposition her. So she's a Facebook ad manager. She has a VA business where she manages a lot of VAs in her business. So they work under her. And so yeah, she does Facebook ads, and she has this really cute little wonderful, I don't know why I use the word cute, I'm tired because I was up last night with my daughter. But yeah, she has a great business, but I just feel like a lot of the what she was doing and her core skill set wasn't really being communicated to her ideal clients. So we rewrote her homepage. Actually, we ended up rewriting her whole entire website, but it didn't have to be overwhelming, like complicated. We just decided that when people hit her website, they needed to be able to understand exactly what she does in literally a few seconds. We created about 3 or 4 packages. So these weren't massive sales pages. These were just like 1 paragraph synopsises around the core offerings that she has. And we repositioned her more as a Facebook, Facebook social media, online business strategist for leading entrepreneurs. So she was then able to, we decided that her roster was quite full, so she didn't actually need too many more clients, and if she was going to take on more clients, they had to pay her a lot more money. So we increased her offerings, we broadened her packages, made them a lot more juicy. We started communicating to her audience about really that she was a strategist, and she started doing a lot more live streams. She wrote a couple of amazing blog posts about her journey. She has a multi-six-figure business at 21. So she really hides her age because a lot of people judge her because she's only 21. So she wrote this amazing blog post, and we worked on it together, called "I've Been Lying to You All Along." So it was a kind of a compelling title. She started communicating and sharing her story. She started showing herself not only from being more open and vulnerable about her journey and what it's really taken for her to really go to the level that she's at, but also sharing her brilliance and her packages in a new way so that people can ascertain instantly, oh my gosh, okay, this is what she does. So this is a problem that I see with a lot of entrepreneurs. they don't clearly articulate their brilliance. So how do people really get it? And then they're not going to pay you the big bucks if they don't understand how brilliant you are. So how do you start communicating that in a way that doesn't sound like a massive ego head? So the best way to really, I believe, do that is to start sharing yourself, like through video, sharing your knowledge, offering great value, so that people can really start to feel into and see you in action. And therefore you're almost doing what I would call invisible selling. You're speaking to any kind of concerns or potential objections that they may have by clearly articulating everything that you do, what you can do for them, the results that you get. Don't be afraid to share your client wins. You know, if you have a client, like I know Raquel had a client that went and sold a really big high-end package, and she went out and shared that on her group and really owned that. I know with my client Emily, she's been clearly communicating, like, these are the conversions that I'm getting with Facebook ads. This is what I'm able to do with someone's business in the next over a 3-month period. This is the return on investment that you get. Don't be afraid to really clearly tell people the results that you get, because it's actually a kind thing to do, because you're allowing them to make a conscious choice. And someone right out there, there's so many people out there looking for exactly what you have. So don't hide it away. Don't hide your brilliance away. Really deeply, deeply own that. I'm just trying to think of the other things that we've done. What else have we done? I know with Emily, we're working on a launch. So she would like to now go into teaching more deeply. So to people, like, for example, in the virtual assistant world. So we've created a new program called VA Empire, and then a Lady Boss, we're creating a Lady Boss social media empire, and we're creating all these different new opt-ins so that she's growing her list right now. Working with me, because she's so busy just dealing with her clients, because she's got quite a full business, has allowed her to really make sure that she factors in time for her own business growth. And so when we get together, she's quite motivated, obviously, to get things done, because number one, she's investing in herself with me, and she wants to get a return on her investment. So it encourages her to get shiz done. So guys, I want you to really think about getting really, really clear. The number 6 question that I had in the workbook was, you know, who are you really speaking to? And what is the problem that you're solving, and who is really your dream client, and how are you going to start speaking to them this week? How are you going to reach out to these people, say starting with, say, a live stream video? What are the core messages that you really want to communicate this week? I plan a lot of my content out, even my Evernote on my computer. When I start to get ideas, I start writing them down, because otherwise I just forget. I'm so busy doing other things, or building people's websites, or getting ready for other classes that I've got to teach, that I forget. So if you are getting inspired during the day, make sure that you write everything down. If you want to ask for divine guidance on what's the most juicy, helpful content that you can provide to people, then you'll start to download it. So get those ideas down. So does anyone have any questions about the content that I'm providing for you right now? I'll just wait and see if there's any questions. Hey, Emily. So Emily is the girl that I've been talking about. She's done a brilliant, brilliant job. We've just been talking about some of the things that we were doing, like repackaging your services, and really letting people know, Emily, how brilliant you really are, rather than you're just not a Facebook ad person. You're a complete strategist. Emily's now really broadening her work and creating funnels, like really doing these amazing funnel packages for people, where she maps out how to really monetize their business online. So we're broadening that and looking at what point of difference, or what's the gap in the market that other entrepreneurs aren't covering. And so she's, hey gorgeous, she's packaging all of that up, and really she can then charge 3 or 4 times the amount. Like, she might have a $15,000 package and a $20,000 package, but it's a no-brainer, because that ROI that she can get people if they set it up properly is like in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it's worth every freaking cent. And so that's really where you need to get to. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. You're amazing to work with. You're a beautiful soul. And you're so, Emily, I think the thing with Emily that people need to understand too is that she is very driven. So I come in there and sort of hold this sacred space for her, and we write out all the steps and everything that we need to do every week, and we look at the big vision, and then we like, what's her big vision, and then we're working backwards. Like Emily's big launch, she's doing one in November, and then she's doing, sorry, my eye, she's doing one in sort of January, February. She's going away on a holiday in September to Europe. So we are planning already what we're going to be doing over the next 6 months, and we're working now backwards with all of that in mind. So I think having a deep plan is so important. So just Steph's asking me for the $350 a month. Sorry, let me see. I'll see what Emily's saying first. Helps so much to have somebody else's eyes on my business. I know, myself included. Sometimes we get so busy with the day-to-day and we're so close to it that we need to be able to have someone who's coming from a top-tier view and looking at it and simplifying it for us and breaking it all down. But also, and I think this is one of my core sort of traits, one of my superpowers, is I have a very potent ability to see, hi Sarah, where someone can go. Like I kind of see their brilliance in such a big way, and I start to just hook into that energy of that, and I go, oh my God, like, okay, this is where we need to go. And I'm the vision keeper. I hold, not only am I teaching marketing and editing people's copy and helping them with powerful statements and holding space for them to like get out there and start shining their light in a deeper way on video and all those kinds of things, and helping them with their sales calls and all that kind of stuff. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Emily saying Ingrid is the best of the best. I think where I really am different from so many other coaches is I'm not just a coach. I am a guide, a mentor. I'm your friend. I'm carrying a lot of the energy, I suppose, in some way. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to do the work, and I think that's why Emily's been so successful. Is that, you know, she's not, even though I kind of hold this sacred space, she's very accountable. Like the girl is sometimes on a Saturday night, I'm not saying we all have to do this, but on a Saturday night, and she's got a young baby, she'll go to a cafe to work to write a blog post. It just blows my mind. And I kind of work like that. I do tend to work a lot, but I love what I do. So I do take time off. I do have massages. I do take incredibly good care of myself, but I also am completely dedicated, and I get shiz done. And Emily's exactly the same. So I'm not just a coach. I have a keen ability and very deep kind of expertise around marketing and sales. I have a background, as you know, in advertising, and created TV programming, pitching and selling in the United States for many years as well. But I also am a deeply loving person that deeply cares. And that's so important, I think, in this experience when you're up leveling, to have someone who's got your back in a deep way. Let me have a look. And I love doing it that way. So Sally's saying, how do you cope with comeback from raising your prices so much? I know that my present network cannot afford what I am charging, and yet I have to break out of this poverty mindset. Okay, Sally, great question. So we're looking at raising your prices, yes, quite considerably. And as I said, you don't have to start at that complete jump, but we have to get there pretty quickly. So number one, you do not want to, your current audience is not going to be probably maybe your long-term clients, but people will usually find the money, Sally, when you shift your vibration. You can't be building your business thinking, my current clients aren't going to pay that. Like you don't even think about your current clients, apart from the fact that you already have a membership group and you can serve them there. So I've said to you, keep your prices. When someone buys a package from you and they're in a membership, you want to make sure that you honor those people. Like you said, that they're your loyal clients, and you want to treat them with the utmost of respect. So you want to keep your prices stable for them. But everyone else coming in, Sally, into your membership program, you need to raise the prices ASAP, like right now. Absolutely. When you shift your frequency, become deeply aligned with your work, and you do incredible work, including having people have instantaneous, spontaneous, miraculous healings, you actually have to be focused on, okay, how am I going to serve? What type of clients am I now going to be bringing into my business? And be thinking about that. Your eye and your energy has to be on the prize, on where you're going in the future, right? So if you had, say you were selling $1,000 healing sessions, how would that be feeling? What type of people would you be working with? And then how would you be communicating to those people? And how would you be feeling in your body? How would your life feel if you were selling, 10 of those sessions or 8 of those sessions a month, doing that plus doing all your other work and coming up with other amazing packages? How would you feel? And that is the embodiment and the frequency that you have to have right now. You cannot even be thinking about the present network of people, because they are kind of not your future potentially people, or they will up level and start to value you as you value yourself, and they will find the money. So if you told me that your session was $197 to have a healing with you, I would pay that. If you tell me it's $1,000, Sally, and I adore your work and everything that you do, if I really want that healing and you've articulated to me what you do in a really clear way, and I can ascertain how brilliant it is because you explained it to me the other day about what happens at those miraculous physical healings, like tangible stuff. It's not just some of it's soul stuff, some of it's just energetic, and some of it's like physical, as in the physicality of someone's body shifts and changes, and you get up online and talk about that, Sally. Don't you think people are going to pay $1,000? You can go to a specialist for like $500 or $1,000 and they won't do anything for you. You can hire a coach. I know someone who hired a business coach who's just started working with me for $6,000, who did literally nothing for her, right? So if you deliver on what you say, this is the big thing about selling high end and raising your prices. If you deliver on what you say and you clearly articulate the benefits of what you offer, you can really charge kind of whatever you want. Obviously, you've got to find the right people to pay it, but they will come, darling. They will come. So this is really about you letting go of that story and not focusing there anymore. And that's another thing that keeps coming up in a lot of these sessions that I have with people, when I really start to tune into how they're thinking and feeling. And that's why I mentioned my own past subconscious stuff that was really holding me back. You don't have the container to hold the business that you want to receive, right? You're not energetically vibing with it. And so how do you start vibing with it and not have to do years of therapy? You start to envision where you want to go, and you start tuning into that frequency, and you ask the divine to start healing any blocks or resistance you have, any beliefs that you have that need to be let go. Just ask for a divine healing in this moment, and start focusing on the future. So start to write down your future. Like if all of you today started to write down what your life would be like even in the next month or week, when you're doing the work that you're really called to do, you're being paid what you're worth, you're creating epic shifts and serving at such a deep, juicy level, what would that how would you feel in your body? How would you feel in your life? How would you handle your sales calls? How would you be on video? What would your love life be like? How would you be with your children? How would you be spending time off? Would you be traveling more? I know, Sally, you want to travel. Would you be Emily, coming to Australia and living here for 3 months of the year and living maybe in Byron Bay, or coming to live with me? I don't know, but how would you be living, and how would that feel? And then start to embody that, because that's one of the quickest ways that I know to manifest and shift your life. You can't shift your life living in the past, or living in that in the poverty mindset, or living in the story of loss or shame. You have to start embodying the feeling of where you want to go. So for me, when I was really, I think I did share this in my webinar, but I don't mean to keep repeating myself, but when I was trying to really make a shift and up level my life, every day I was doing a mantra, like I'm a rich divine chick. I am receiving divine compensation for my work with ease and grace. I have the most amazing clients coming to me that are just willing to pay me the big bucks, who are awesome to work with. And it started to really show up in my life without me like changing the website, without me even having, a new sales page up. It just started to organically happen. So there's all the strategic things that you can do, like the funnels and tweaking the website and having a better opt-in and all that kind of thing. But if you just want to start generating cash instantaneously more now, shift your frequency, start writing down exactly what it is that you want to receive, come up with an offer, either it's $1,000 or $2,000, and decide that this week I'm going to sell 3 of those $2,000 packages, and start to just embody that. I have a whole lot of sales calls, and I won't show you the prices of what I want to create in my business this week, but I have the people's names written down, and I've been already tuning into their frequency and looking at how I can best serve them, and I've been coming up with some different sort of solutions and packages for them, and then I write down the amount of money that I think that it will kind of approximately be, and then I calculate that total. So then I start to tune into that total. And I'm not starting my week off like, oh, can I do it? Will they be able to afford it? Buying into their story. I had someone come into Rich Diva barely having any money. She spent $197 a month and then turned around, I don't know how it happened, and bought a 2-hour intensive with me, and she had no money. You can't also, it's not really a great way to serve clients buying into their story thinking they have no money, because people will find the money. So yeah, be really, really careful of that, because then you're just projecting and creating this sort of energetic frequency that's so not going to serve you or them. So it's kind of like, just be open, don't try to figure it all out in your head. Just focus on the energy of that which you want to receive, and don't project anything like they can't afford it, because people will find the funds if they really want it. I know when I didn't have much money and I really wanted to study mind body medicine, it was a $4,000 program. I went and I'm swearing, I went and freaking found that money. There was no one stopping me from finding that money to do what I needed to do. I got that money, and I got the training, and I moved ahead. Steph, for the $350 a month program, it doesn't include having you help us with our website. I believe I need the banging website to get more clients in. I don't believe so, but I just wanted to hear your thoughts. Okay, great question. Now, Steph, I can give you heaps of solutions on how to build a banging website that won't cost very much. There's heaps of information that I can give you on that, and where to find people that are low cost but really talented. I have a designer on my team who I pay not very much money to per hour, and I've been working with her for 5 or 6 years, and I found her on the website called Upwork. I put up a job there and found somebody. You can find programmers there. It doesn't have to be complicated. I also know that Emily Hirsch, she's following this right now. She was here today, but you can follow her at emilyhirsch.com. I can put up her site. She does I think she might do a bit of website builds as well at a pretty decent rate, so you might be able to check in with her. One of the things that I think would be great to have really at the end of the day is a booking system. You can get that at youcanbookme.com for $10 a month, and I'll be doing trainings on that, on how to really make sure that you have testimonials up there, that you have a little bit of a synopsis of who you are, so that you're positioning yourself correctly. But that way people can apply, that you shouldn't just be getting on calls randomly with people. They should at least go through, I think, an application process. And it's almost like having a virtual assistant for $10 a month, because you can approve and reject people. To start selling high end, right now you don't need a big website, as I said. What you do need is to become visible. You need to start communicating it. You need to get really, really clear on what it is you're offering. I would definitely come up with a really hot name, a tagline that really summarizes the benefit of that offer. Something really sexy, something juicy. You could maybe create a beautiful logo just for that, and maybe have a one-page PDF document that you can have designed that will just summarize the offer, so that when you're speaking to someone, you can at least either download that on Skype or send it to them, so it looks like you're very professional and it's really been well thought out, but you don't need a sales page. As I said, I sold, I think it was about 10 or 12 spots in CEO Diva Business School with no sales page. Obviously I did have a website up, but people, when you get on a call with people and you're selling a high-end package, and that's where most of it's going to come from. When you're selling high-end, you're going to be doing a lot of it through sales calls. If it's just a short session, like with Sally, it's like a 1 hour or 2 hour intensive, she should not be getting on sales calls with people. She should be able to clearly articulate what it is, and if they want to maybe message her or PM her for a couple of questions, they really need to just go in and book that call. But if you're selling like maybe more like a $3,000 to begin with or $5,000 package, you are going to want to be available for a quick chat with people to maybe answer any questions. So they are really going to be tuning into you, seeing whether they like you, trust you, how you hold yourself in that call is really, really important. So just creating a sacred space for them to be seen, to be heard, and then you really holding your own value and clearly articulating what they're going to get and the prices and how to pay you. Making sure that you have contracts is really important as well. Like if it's a payment plan, you want a contract that they sign, and I'll be covering all of that in the program with High-End Empire. What I've decided to do, I do things a bit differently than a lot of people, and I wasn't, as you know, going to launch High-End Empire with this webinar, but I decided to do that. I was just going to be all about CEO Diva Business School, and then I decided to add that in, which might have confused people a little bit, but anyway, that's what we're doing. So officially doesn't start until October. I'm actually going into a bit of a launch phase with that over the next 6 weeks. But what I've decided to do, which I have said, so I am repeating myself, but I'm actually going to be giving you guys 11 weeks or so of training. I'm starting the training this week. So what I've decided to do to keep my life a little bit more simple while I'm going into a launch and why I have a lot of clients to support, but how can I also serve you guys, is that I'm inviting everybody in Rich Diva or anyone who's signed up for High-End Empire to come to my CEO Diva class this week on Wednesday in the United States. And my husband just asked me for a coffee. Yes, please bring it on. I'm so tired. I've been up like 3 times through the night. How do I say yes without ruining this? So you're going to be getting 11 weeks. I'm just going to say yes. Yes, please. 11 weeks of training starting immediately. A lot of people would not do that. I'm doing that because it goes way beyond money, and I want to get you selling pretty much instantaneously. So the minute you put your deposit down at the $350 or even the $190, the people who are in Rich Diva will just get 1 class a month. So you'll come to one of the CEO Diva business classes once a month, and then I'll be available on live stream once a month. The people that sign up for High-End Empire, it is a 5-week course, but if you sign up now, you're getting 11 weeks of my time. You'll be getting immediately getting training on packaging, selling, pricing. I've got an amazing training that I do on sales and those sales conversations and how to really handle those and manage them. This week I've been doing something really interesting that has been getting me a lot more people on the phone with me that I just felt intuitively to do, but I do it in a way where I use my I use my voice, I use my language in a very specific way that makes them feel like I'm not trying to overtly sell to them, and I do it sort of off the cuff, and I don't really think about it because I've been doing it for quite a while, I suppose, and that's something that I'm naturally good at. But what I've done is I've actually gotten the scripts for all of those, like what I say to people that makes them feel like really excited about getting on the phone with you. So I've actually sent them to my person who transcribes for me, and so I'm going to be sharing exactly all of those transcripts that I kind of use in order to get people on calls when I know that they've been watching me, they've been commenting on my posts, but they haven't still yet booked in for calls. So that's really interesting. So I'm going to be sharing that on Wednesday. So it's stuff that you can implement immediately. So the only thing that I'd like to say, you know, when people say I don't really have money to invest in High-End Empire, or I'm just starting out, I'd like to sell a couple of programs before I do that. That's all fine, and if that's where you're at, that's fine, but be really careful of where your mindset's at with all of that, and will you sell them? If you don't have the support, whether it's from me or someone else, will you really up level to start selling? It's like the chicken before the egg. $350 a month is not, you know, it's for some people, yes, it is a big amount. It's still a bit of maybe a strain or a tension, but at some point you kind of have to decide, am I going to allow myself to receive the support that I need to go to that next level? Now, if you sell a $1,000 package or a $2,000 package or a $5,000 package in the first week or month of working with me, now I can't guarantee that, but 95% of the women that I work with, that is what happens for them. But remember, it's you have to get out there, you have to start implementing all the things that I say. But if you follow through on what I say, the chances are you will start selling. And so the return on investment that you're going to get is going to be huge. Also, when you spend money on yourself, it mobilizes you into action, and you immediately change the frequency, because you're like, shit, I've just spent this money. I know that when Emily came to me, she's a high-end client of mine, so her month investment in me is substantial, and I know it freaked her out. So that really put a fire in her belly at a deeper level, because she was like, oh my God, I'm spending this money, so I want to get a return. Oh my gosh, I've got to work. I've got to get out of my own way and make this happen so that I can pay this off easily. So, you know, it can feel quite scary to make an investment in ourselves for many, many reasons. Not just, do I believe in Ingrid and is she the right mentor for me, but do I believe in myself? But once you do it, things usually start to shift really radically. Like, I've had a girl just do a sales call with me, and she signed up for CEO Diva Business School. Her name's Melissa, and she sold a big package this week. We haven't even done our first session together. I mean, when I did do the sales call, she released a lot of stuff, but she's just gone out there and started to share her beautiful knowledge and her offerings, and in a way that's a lot more. And I think this is such an important thing to look at. You have to be bold. You have to be a bit daring. Don't be an entrepreneur if you can't take a leap and take a bit of a risk on yourself. Like, honestly, like, you should be doing something else. It's not easy. It can be a bit scary. So, you know, do it scared, show up and just go for it. And if I'm not the right mentor for you, go and find someone else. But I don't really think that we as human beings are meant to be doing it alone. We're meant to have that sisterhood. We're meant to have that support in our lives. So allow yourself to receive that. Because the truth is, you're brilliant. So that's not in question, as you know. It's really just making sure that you get your messaging right, that people know that you exist, being seen, being heard, shining a light, speaking from your heart, but allowing your throat chakra. This is where I feel like a lot of women, they're blocked, number one, in the sacral chakra, but also the throat. It's like, yes, you deserve to be heard. Yes, you deserve to be seen. Yes, what you have to bring into the world is incredible. And yes, you can monetize it and receive divine compensation for it. But at some point, you've got to decide, okay, I'm scared, but I'm going to leap. I'm going to do this. I'm going to invest in myself and get the support that I need to really rock it. If you feel that you can go out and do it on your own without that support, then fine, great, go for it, go do it. I wish you all the very best. Keep me posted. I want to hear. But if you know in your heart deeply that something needs to shift and you need someone there just holding that space for you and guiding you every single friggin' day, then, I mean, do it. Invest in yourself and let's get the show going. Does anyone else have more questions that I haven't answered? There's a stream of things. Let me just have a look. Yes, everything happens for a reason. Good for you for taking that positive message from it all. You can only take, in the end of the day, after you feel like a victim for a while, you're sad and you're licking your wounds, unless I want to keep repeating, or we want to keep repeating that same story over and over again. You all know, right, that we have to change the story. We have to rewire it. We have to rewrite it. We have to learn from it and see it as a message and a gift. Otherwise, we just keep perpetuating the same reality, different faces, in a different country. You know, I ran away from a lot of my problems in Australia when I was pretty young. I lived in the States for 13 years, and a lot of the stuff, I couldn't run away from myself, right? The stuff followed me. And it wasn't until I really just dealt with it and took personal responsibility for the way I was thinking, releasing past stuff that had been really programmed into me from my early childhood, did I set myself free. So I think in order to receive divine compensation, you also need to be incredibly self-responsible in terms of releasing all all the beliefs that really are not serving you any longer. And the good news is, if you have those beliefs, and we've all have them, we're always up leveling to get to the next level. I know that I, even just last week, released some beliefs. I had a little bit of stuff come up around during the webinar, around me being seen at a deeper level, around me really showing who I truly am and not following other coaches. I just do it in a completely different way to a lot of people. So I really just had to own that and trust myself. And so there were some emotions that came up, but in doing it, in doing it and showing up, you will shift those beliefs, because as you're going into it and doing it, the resistance, the fear, maybe if you have a little bit of panic, you may have tears, emotion come up, you're actually healing yourself at the same time. So we don't heal ourselves, as you know, and a lot of you guys are healers here, you know what I'm saying. We don't heal ourselves in stagnation. We don't heal ourselves in procrastination. It usually perpetuates. So we have to have the courage to move forward despite our fears, despite anything that it brings up. But in actual fact, it will liberate you in the action. You know, manifestation, it's two different elements, right? It's the sort of the more passive and receptive and allowing, and then there's the action part that is incredibly important, and they're both powerful. But you can't just be, you have to allow, but you also have to take those steps needed in order to go to the next level. And that's the action, that's the deliberate, those deliberate steps that you need to take in order to receive your next level. So I hope you guys have benefited from today. I have an appointment coming up, so I need to leave. If you guys have any additional questions that you want answered, some of you guys have booked in to have chats with Chris or with me, to just make sure that you're choosing the right program. High-End Empire is really a deep 5-week intensive that will take you through everything that you need to have in place in order to sell high-end. But as I said, we're starting from this week. If you join, I'm going to start training you guys that you can get out there and start selling. I don't want you to have to wait until October when we officially launch. If you want to work with me privately, then just PM me and we can have a little bit of a chat about what that might look like for you. Okay guys, so I hope I've answered everyone's questions. If not, let me know, just message me and I'll get to them later. Michelle, Ingrid, do you think these programs are beneficial to new coaches? Absolutely. Hey Tiffany. Michelle, yes, absolutely. I have worked with, I've worked with new coaches, and I have a client, Caitlin McCarthy. You can check her out at misscaitlinmccarthy.com. We launched her business. She'd never sold anything before, and she's a nutritionist. So I repositioned her. And hey Margie, she's a client of mine. She's a great and amazing woman. We repositioned her so she didn't really just want to talk about food anymore. So we made sure that we launched a program that was also about tapping into your divine intuition. It's a very healing, nourishing program that went beyond food, even though we cover food as well. And we launched with a program called Freedom Goddess. And within 2 weeks of really coming up with that program, we hadn't even launched her website yet. She sold 2 $5,000 packages immediately. So, in the High-End Empire, like sometimes people will ask you, like, why do you cost so much? I know that came up with her, with one of her clients before they invested. They said, why do you cost so much? You're quite expensive, or that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'll deal with that in another video about what to say to people who come across in that way. But really, they want to be sold to. They want you to talk to that and convince them, that you are really, really worth it. So I guided Caitlin through all of that. So yeah, you can definitely be a total newbie and start selling high-end from the get-go. It's completely possible. Sarah, those of us who won the 30-minute sessions with you, when can we book that? So excited. Hey Sarah, great question. I will put the booking link, I'll get Chris to put the booking link down under this video later today. He's just gone to take our daughter to daycare and I've got to go to a meeting. But the link is also up on a post he posted. There's a photo of me saying that the pitch sessions, it's Chris, my husband, he works with me, and he put up that post. So with a booking link, so you can book in. People are already booking in for sessions with me, so if you can find that, that would be great. If not, let me know and I'll get you that link. Michelle, yes, honestly, darling, I see that you've got lovely children. I think I went and looked at your page on Facebook. I definitely did that. So you have a lot to offer people, Michelle, a lot of experience, a lot of life experience as well. So you can definitely start with selling high end. You do need to become visible. You probably do need some support. So if you want to join High End Empire or work with me privately, just message us. We can get on a phone call with you and have a little bit of a chat to just talk to any concerns that you may have, or let us know. Thank you, Lizzie says. Okay, again, you've delivered, we'll PM you. Okay, Lizzie, love to hear from you. So, Lizzie, I know that you're in the food business, but I don't just work with coaches and consultants. I also am a consultant myself for a couple of different corporations who aren't in the healing or coaching business. So I'm sure I'll be able to support you in some way. I know that Tiffany joined the Rich Diva Mastermind, and she's got a retail shop. So what I'm going to be really offering in Rich Diva is a lot more to do around embodiment, releasing emotion. It's going to be a deeply manifesting sacred space as well. So it's not just going to be focused on just purely healers and coaches. So we'll be covering marketing for all different genres. It really can be applied to any industry, what I'm teaching. Okay, Sarah, that's great. Okay, guys, I am so sleep deprived. I've done my best. And I cannot wait to see you guys soon, either working with me or just here in High End Empire, communicating with you guys. If you have any questions that I haven't answered, just put them on the group, and I'm more than happy to answer your questions. So sending you lots of love. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you, Lizzie. Thank you, everybody. I'm so excited for you guys, whether you work with me or not. I'm so excited for you and for your transformation, because I can just feel, it's just so potent. I think we women are all being called right now to share our epic work with the world in a bigger way, and we are ready for ascension. There's a massive shift coming. It's so huge, seriously. Hey Marie, just so incredible what's really going down right now. So we either have a choice to sort of feel a dragging down feeling or an up-leveling, rising feeling, going beyond any limits, stagnant stuff, old karmic patterning. It's time to just drop that shiz, honestly. So guys, sending you lots of love, and I'll speak to you soon. Blessings. Bye, guys.